Probability. So how to work with probability in C? At first, to understand what probability is, if you imagine a jar full of balls of different colors, when you make a draw, the probability of getting a red ball is equal to the number of favored cases. What are the favored cases? You have two balls, so you would either get the first one to the right or the second one to the left. So one of the other, which is two cases, divided by the total number of options, which means the total number of balls. So you might get in a draw either this ball or this ball or this ball, etc., which makes 9 balls. So the probability is equal to 2, which is the number of favored cases, because we have 2 red balls, divided by 9, which is the total number of balls, gives you 0.22 or 22%. Let's write a small program to evaluate the probability. So we're gonna write a function that will get the option to draw and the place where to draw from, which is the jar. Of course, the jar in this case would be a table or an array of values. Even the option would be a value, okay, a number to be picked from this jar. Double proba, the name of the function, double option, which is the value that we desire to have when we draw, double jar, or the table that contains all the possible values, and int len, which is the length of the array, or the number of items. Int count is equal to 0. We need to count the number of occurrence of this option, just like in the former example, the number of red balls within the jar. Int I equals 0, because we need to loop through the jar to count the number of values equal to option. For I equals 0, I less than len, I plus plus, if jar of I, or if the value of jar at index I is equal to the option, then increase the count plus plus, which means increase the number of values in count, okay, add to the count, because we're counting how many values equal to option are there within the jar. And finally, return, and here we need to cast the count into double, divided by, also we need to cast the len into double, otherwise it would give us a 0 division. Then you go to the main, declare the jar, call it here jar also, although the name of this variable has nothing to do with the one within the function, which is a local variable, equal. Here we're going to have a set of values, let's say 1, 0, 0, 2, 3, and 1. Double len is equal to how many items are there in the jar? You have 3, 6, 8. And the probability, double probability, is equal to proba function. The option is, okay, let's see the probability of getting a 1 value. And jar, finally the length of the jar is len, which is 8. Printf, the number of items at first within the jar is %f and len. Printf, the probability of occurrence of 1 between two double quotes, and here is how you place a double quote within a quote, okay? We are canceling the effect of it being a delimiter for a string. %f, probability. And the value is 0.25, which is 2 divided by 8, or 25%. Let us add %f, and let us multiply the probability by 100 to get it in percent. So probability of occurrence of 1 is 0.25 or 25%.